Community College. I'm the president, Bob Tremblay, and tonight our talk will be Spark of a New Sun, a visit to Kaali Crater. That's right? Kaali Crater by Diane Hall, our president emeritus. We have any first? Yes, we have a first timer here. I've already told him all. Do we have any other first timers here? No, okay. So I already told our first timer before the meeting started all about the observatory and everything. But so is David here? No, he's not. All right. So we like to go through the ranks and do a roll call. I'm Bob Tremblay, president.
Bob Dennis. Bob Berta.
Laura Wade.
Now.
Here's Mancini.
Mark Kensington. Sonny Spilos. Jim Wallace.
Pete Lemire.
Tina Wong. Maria Bogdan. Diane Hall.
Hey, card carrying member.
Yeah.
Our carrying member.
Tina Wong.
Our carrying member.
Where's it at?
Was that everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was not paying attention. I thought we were going backwards to the ranks. Looking at my notes.
David
Sorry.
Baranski, treasurer.
Yeah, so we got Dale Teamy, myself, Michael Durbin, I hope I pronounced that right, Jeff Cooper, and Kelly Peaty. Online. Hi, guys. Okay, so you can renew your membership online or at the Cranbrook meeting with David there, who's online. Let's see. Okay, WAS wearables are available from Mark Edzer, who is here. You can check to see what's available in our newsletter. Astronomy at the Beach is next weekend, September 26th and 27th at Island Lake State Park. I sent out a mailing to the membership asking everyone to help promote the event. It includes a printable flyer, links to event listings all over the place. If you know anybody who'd be interested in the event, please let them know. Guy Consolmagno is going to be the speaker. He's going to be in town for that weekend. He is the director of the Vatican Observatory until tomorrow. His last day of his second 5-year term is tomorrow. And tomorrow I have to change the website to put the new director on, who is Richard D'Souza, who Brother Guy is all thrilled about. He remains president of the Vatican Observatory Foundation, the fundraising and outreach arm of the Vatican Observatory, and he's doing an insane amount of globe-trotting outreach, and he's going to be on the other side of the planet 2 days before Astronomy at the Beach. So, yeah, he's nuts. His schedule is crazy. The Astronomy at the Beach is put on by the Great Lakes Association of Astronomy Clubs. They meet every Tuesday. We met last week is our last meeting before Astronomy at the Beach. We're taking October off. If you would like to help plan Astronomy at the Beach for next year, they would like to have you. And it's a good chance that many of the board members of the Great Lakes Association of Astronomy Clubs are going to be not renewing their positions. So we need people, and they're going to need people. We are having a pizza party at Cranbrook. Our next meeting, Monday, November 6th. Be prepared for pizza. Nature's perfect food. Officer elections are coming up in November. The November Cranbrook meeting. Several of our officers are term limited, and some of them will probably be shifting positions, some of them not. We don't know yet. So if you would like to be an officer in the club, let the board know. If you have any nominations for somebody you'd like to be an officer in the club, let the board know. So I play a lot of computer games. I think I've made that obvious. And one of the games I play is called No Man's Sky. It's a space game that was released in 2016, and it went over with a resounding thud. It didn't offer what it was said it would, and it was bad. But since then, it's had over 50 free named updates and has become one of the most preeminent space games ever. The latest update, which came out a couple weeks ago, lets you construct huge Corvette-class cruisers from a myriad of ships that you can buy or find. And I've seen screenshots of beautiful ships, some recreations of iconic ships from science fictions, and you can fly them. I've also seen some truly bizarre ships, because if you can build a ship however you want. Somebody's gonna build something weird and they're out there. So with this update, I started a new game. I have no money, only a few ship parts to build my cruiser with. And what I have, I just slapped anywhere on this ship. My ship is an ugly, misshapen Franken cruiser right now. Hopefully I'll get one of the really cool ones when I get more parts. So we had before COVID, we did a discussion group, and somebody would host the club and invite people into a home or a place of business. We'd like to start ramping that up again. So probably not this month because of astronomy at the beach. So if anyone would be interested in hosting one in October, probably between the 19th and 23rd, let us know. I would really like to see those discussion groups started up. It's more of an informal meeting, just shoot the crap in somebody's house, bring munchies. They're a good time. So Dale Parton is not here tonight. He is doing family stuff for the next couple days. He is looking for presentations for late 25 and or for late this year and early next year. So let's see, Riyadh is not online. We are having scouts at Stargate on October 4th, which is also International Observe the Moon Night. So I would like to see us promote that and maybe do an event there. I can't talk with Riyadh about that right now. So David, what is going on with Treasury?
Well, let's see. Treasure, we have in our checking account, we have $22,216. Our credit card doesn't have any balance on it. PayPal, we've got $524. Cashbox, we got about $181 and some change. So anytime the club wants to go on a shopping spree, we got credit card, we got checkbook. We can support that effort.
All right. Thanks, David. All right. Charlie, our secretary, is not here. He has been working with the Metro Parks about getting Diane's warming room up and running. He has been working on that. We are working on that. A warming room is a place where we can go and warm ourselves in the freezing winter and also give presentations and store some stuff. So we want, we're going to be right in line. It's going to be observatory, Dob shed, warming room. So we were going to do a roll off top for observatory, but we really wanted the observing room and we wanted a place that we could do presentations in not a freezing environment. So Charlie is working on that. So outreach, Jeff is not here. Also, again, astronomy at the beach, International Observe the Moon Night. If you're doing any outreach and would like it reported in the WAS, let the board know. Send an email to us. Calendar committee is looking for picture submissions. If you have pictures, you said you've submitted a whole bunch. Awesome. So it looks like we're gonna have an awesome calendar this year. Anybody here submit other than him? Did anybody? I know, I'm sure Dale Hollenball has done a couple.
More than enough to fill out the calendar, but we're gonna go through and pick out a bunch of, hopefully people that haven't submitted them before, but I think get some more newbies.
That would be cool. I've seen some amazing pictures from newbies. Okay, so if you need to contact the board, you can contact us at board@warrenastro.com. See, he's not here, so let's do some astronomy news. I was looking for some astronomy news, went to Universe Today, and this thing caught my head. Comet impact may have wiped out the Clovis culture. New research suggests that a swarm of debris from an exploding comet left its mark by triggering the Younger Dryas, a period of abrupt cooling around 12,000 years ago. The researchers say that the touchdown airburst and resulting Younger Dryas led to the extinction of megafauna and the disappearance of the Clovis culture, which was a proto-Indian culture down in the Mexico area around there. But looking at the article, it said that they found shocked quartz and that kind of stuff. So I would actually like to see a whole presentation on that. So a rare triple conjunction at dawn tomorrow I had this up on Stellarium Web. That is happening tomorrow morning. Let me share that to our watching audience. So tomorrow morning, before sunrise, we're going to have a very thin crescent moon and Venus and Regulus right near it. So if you're up early, go ahead and catch that. That will be very cool. Pardon me? This doesn't care what the weather is, but yeah. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. There is a bright new comet, Swan, could perform a surprise October show. A new comet approaching from sunward could make a fine dusk appearance in October. There's chatter on the boards this Friday about a comet seen in the solar wind andiotropies, the Swan images, tentatively named Swan 25b and now formally called C 2025 R2 Swan. Comet could put on a brief show in late September to October if it holds up, meaning it doesn't break apart going around the sun. Also, this one kind of made me chuckle. NASA responds to claims that interstellar comet 3I Atlas is an advanced alien spacecraft. If it looks like a duck. That's pretty much the guy says, it looks like a comet. It does comet things. It very, very strongly resembles in just about every way the comets that we know. Now, my comment on that is, if I was sending a probe through an alien planetary system where I knew the residents might spot it, I'd cover it with black electromagnetic scattering stealth material, and I sure as heck would not make it expel gas to pretend it was a comet that could only be seen by high-powered telescopes. But that's just me. So, and I want to repeat that NASA Plus is on Netflix. So if you want to watch NASA live, you can watch on Netflix. And if you have not seen Apollo 10.5, do it. I actually had somebody come up at the picnic and say, thanks for telling me about that. It was so good. So Apollo 10.5 on Netflix. It's hilarious. So exoplanet update. We have passed the 6,000 confirmed exoplanets. We passed the 5,000 confirmed in 2022. So we are up a few on candidates, but we are past 6,000 confirmed exoplanets, which is amazing. And NASA commented the newest 1,000 has helped NASA expand the parameter space of known planets and dramatically increase the number of planets they can characterize in detail. So lots of planets out there. Asteroids, we're still up at 1,000,004, but the number is climbing. NEOs, we're still at 39,000. That number is growing. And we had tomorrow at 9 a.m., an asteroid that is 12 to 37 meters across is going to pass 0.56 lunar distances. So close-ish. I see a lot of them at 10 lunar distances, and I'm like, that's pretty far. So special interest group solar, NASA announces increasing solar activity. A new study published September 8th in the Astrophysical Journal Letters concludes that solar activity has reversed a decades-long weakening trend. Future solar cycles could be even more intense. Yay! From the one that we're experiencing now, the findings confirm our own report in May predicting a long-term increase in solar activity due to, oh my goodness, Centennial Glesberg cycle. I've never heard of that, but anyway. So it says, stay tuned for more sunspots and fewer Starlinks. The link to that takes you to heightened solar activity is killing Starlinks. Anybody feel bad about that? Yeah.
Actually, you should discuss why they're going down. It's because they're in very low Earth orbit. And that's exposing them to the, the radiation, etc. So people say, what does this mean? We're gonna have our space station's gonna go? No.
Well, I mean, they are talking about deorbiting it
Yeah.
sometime, aren't
Yeah.
they? I'm not sure if they're. I'm not sure. What is the status of the ISS? They were saying they wanted to deorbit it. I'm not really sure why you'd want to deorbit a perfectly good space station, but whatever. If you want to check out spaceweather.com, they have a real-time gallery of swan images, and it is just filled with images of people taking pictures of that. The sun today. Let's go to spaceweather.com. I should add that up. We have a lot of sunspots. Yeah. Oh, wow, I was right. So let's, oh, wow, the audience here. So we've got a ton of sunspots today. So, and I'd like to show you the live sun from the SDO, but they are having a data issue. Right there, they had a hardware failure, so I won't be showing you live images of the sun from the SDO. So if you're interested in starting a special interest group, say radio, computers, technology, podcasting, light pollution, I keep saying I'm going to do that, but I'm going to. Let us do it and let the board know about it. Then you can give a report or even a lecture about it. That'd be awesome. So observing reports. Anybody see anything interesting in the sky? My daughter the other day saw, am I still sharing that? Saw the moon in the morning as we went out, which was really cool. Let's see, where is this? Stop sharing it.
Diane, step one.
What do you got? What do you got?
So we got.
Come on up here, talk to the audience.
So we got the 24-inch Causland Reflector in operation for the first time in 3 years. So we did some dark skies observing from the vicinity of our site outside Negulgon Dark Sky Park. And we had a great time. We saw star clusters, nebulae, galaxies, you name it, and Saturn, which of course is edge on with a beautiful array of moons quite visible. So it's very exciting to get the big telescope back in operation. If y'all are interested in coming and by and checking us out, just let me and Jonathan know, because we would love to host some people up there.
Where is this?
This is between
Using your map.
yeah, between Alpena and Oscoda, near Negulgon State Park. And we have a big field that's good for camping. So, you know, if you camp, let us know.
All right,
Cool.
thanks.
Yes.
Question. You know about the McMahon, observatory?
I unfortunately haven't had any contact with him since Marty Kuhn died last year. He was my main contact.
Bring your image up. Bring your image up.
Mine?
Yeah. We're doing, anybody online have anything they want to show? Yeah, bring it up. And would you take this with your Sea Star? No, you Celestron. Origin. Right, what do you got?
Well, you saw that, didn't you? Didn't it get on there?
I didn't, it never came in.
Oh, so,
I put a telescope app, but yeah, there it is.
it's still twirling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up for sale, but question is.
Right, so let's zoom it in.
I got lucky, I got for.
What do I do to it? Just go to gallery. All right. She took this with an origin and this doesn't do it justice online here. The picture, the detail on that is just amazing.
How did you take it? Yeah, pardon?
How?
With my Celestron Origin.
Was it a camera or you held your cell phone up to it? How'd you do it?
It's the app.
Oh, okay.
It's the app.
It doesn't have an iris.
Oh, it does it right to the phone. It's like a C. Okay, got it.
It doesn't it doesn't have an eyepiece, it just comes up.
Dale Hollenwall is in here. He always has. Anybody else have anything to share? All right. All right. So, at this point, we're a little early, but that's okay.
Hey,
Hmm?
Do you hear anything further about bacteria on Mars? They're trying to decipher.
You know what? I will look that up during the break. I should report on that. Yeah, Bob Berta just asked. There was a news report of them finding possible biosignatures on Mars, but there are also non-biological explanations for everything they found. So it's not conclusive, but possible.
Living, hey, this was, past, but evidence was past, they actually have possibly a fossilized bacteria.
Really? I'll have to, yeah, I will look this up during the break and let you know. So we're gonna take a break now and we'll do a 20-minute break, so reconvene. Wow, that's early.
Parked over in the air. Yeah. We've been parking on the other side, but now it's pushing us.
We're gonna do a 25-minute break, so that'll take us to 7:45. Yeah, okay. So reconvene at a 7:45 for our feature presentation. And in the meantime, get a bio, get a munchie, and see you back in a couple minutes. All right, break time. What do you got?
Got a keynote presentation on a map.
You got Zoom, because we'll just swap you out.
Yeah, I got Zoom.
We'll just connect up and take me right out of here.
Perfect timing.
All right, so Dale, oh, you're not there. All right. Well, let's get you online. I'm not gonna be doing, oops. You're gonna want this to go overhead.
Okay, I need my adapter.
Sometimes what happens is, don't all leave at the same time. Get there.
Unless you want to do book promotion.
Right click, change name. Change my name to Crab. Did I do that? That's not the remember.
And is there four?
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Can y'all see my page?
No, it's not being shared on Zoom. We gotta share it on Zoom.
How do we share it on Zoom?
Let's see, it's escape on that, with the presentation up, hit. Zoom. Share. Whichever window has the full screen presentation.
Oh, very good.
Well, like I said, you know, I bought the wagon over at Masco. And I forgot, you know.
Sorry.
No worries.
Oh, wow. Snow. Really aggravating. You thought it was all the way in, but then you get to the top and then there's no quite all the way in. Oh, should we bring it?
Fast. What time does the ATV usually start getting crowded? 1,000.
Presentation starts 7 o'clock, the Baltics get packed.
So people. Well, probably even five.
I'll probably be there about 5.
Side where it's filmed my stuff.
It's right on the.
Watch that.
All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, I'm seeing your, the slideshow now.
Perfect.
Okay, you wanna take that down to just you?
Okay. I mean, it won't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, as long as you don't have any crap on this.
No, I've got,
Yeah.
Somebody were looking at.
got my notes on my phone.
You're good to go.
Excellent.
I'm gonna pack my computer.
Oh, that's so nice.
Doing it well. Beginning to wonder.
What are they doing? Are they using that?
Being in the back of the miniature, identification card is not, found that.
Okay.
Yeah. No. So, I set the tracks up. What I did was, I got little bounce traps. I took the whole, he had some, fast food things. And so I pushed the whole through the bottom of it, took a piece of twine, tied it to the trap, baited it, set it, and then what I did was that twine, fed it to the back. So I see a tail or,
Just show me how I think that there's.
hindquarters.
Yes.
Then that was from the city.
That's all I have.
I don't.
Even if it's looking at.
Got that with our old sales, I stayed somewhere, you know. I only buy it. I put. You know, like well, safe craft, that will really save a chance. When I know.
And they were.
They crawl into the tube and it tips over, don't you?
So.
That would have been amazing.
Every time.
The Starman.
That would have been the guy.
The other.
That's big wooden box.
I didn't.
Star Mass.
Just basically, you know.
Well, that's just, that, I look at this way, no one paying attention, you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
press tab, Grass is fine.
Yes. And how you are leading the budget. Right. About this month. You're all getting to the sales and. That's where we finally pull off along there. That was so funny. It went to your piece, like, well. That was a letter. He was a day for no from France. And she did say what to do. Plus, the dog that she knew.
Oh, yes.
I guess the other question is,
Yeah.
But anyway, you could. No,
But I
everybody shares. Thank you for the great.
I don't think we did.
Yeah. I just say,
Yeah.
I'm extremely afraid to be here. So,
Small and different. Something that they don't. So my understanding with the bill is that I was over that and I was.
It just switched purses, so I have an envelope.
Over years ago. So. The expense of getting COVID. and everything, so.
it's looking kind of like a spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like our eating shops and the doctor that like, you see right. Yes, a little more high reflectivity in some areas, but in some other areas, you can see right through it.
Let's get in here. And then I'll give myself a reminder. Thank you. Please.
That,
Okay, hang on.
that's cool.
Is it okay if I take a picture of that?
Yeah.
Center.
What do you think?
Just-
It's very generous.
Well, that's our
Yeah.
phone number.
Like the cat size is
And
a
their
collimation,
Yeah.
collimation tool.
As you're supposed to.
Yeah, it was just a guy.
He was Peggy. Guys.
Got it. Yeah, looks good.
Nice.
And then I'll send this over to Dave and tell him that.
Yeah, thanks.
That was thank you.
Oh, I would say, she did request, no, in a long term. If somebody prefers to be selected to use it, say within a year, within a year. Oh, it's something for the observatory or if they have a fund, it's something that they want to get forward or whatever.
Because
It's based in Deltona.
the money market rates are so.
Yeah.
And with the Fed lowering the interest rate, I talked to him about possibly taking some of the money and parking it into like a, he wants to do a bond fund. I want to do a bullet fund.
Yeah.
With a buy and hold strategy.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
because if not.
Yeah, but I mean, just in terms of,
CD,
just from-
something that's yielding 4%.
But she likes things, you would actually right now, latest realize them.
Yeah.
The observatory, like that versus saying he was really into the observatory, you know, he was. And they're different.
yeah, I'm gonna have to plan.
We were on.
Yeah, I really want
to. Just. Another amount, because getting on the foundation, it's not. We have to do that. Then she will like it.
She wants it to be useful.
Useful, use running systems of
Yeah, like I said, I think I'm converting about possibly, getting somebody that's more.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
I'm just making sure I got everything.
Yeah, we got less money in there than we had in the borders.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
I'll talk to him about, actually, I'll talk to Riaz about it. If he's got any idea, something.
Oh.
that's-
With a few more.
Let's make this.
I paid for 200 fridge bucks or so. I'm serious.
Do you need any of us? Do you need any?
I've got some.
Okay, cool.
I mean, they're blinks. They're also beautiful, fresh, flat.
Yeah, I see, there's like a little while.
One day.
What are you planning on going to, the National Coney afterwards?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Did you count yourself?
Yes.
You get a canola?
I did.
You said they're printable flyers?
Oh, how come
Yeah.
you don't have the, do you need the notes?
I mean, I would like the notes, but I also got them on my phone. Yes.
Made it a PDF, probably. And brother guy got the top. Both of them?
Yeah, different talk too.
Both sides.
I don't know. New talk, it's completely new.
Stop mirroring.
Yeah.
Like if you want to. If you want to have notes, then you never mirror, right?
I did not know that.
But hopefully, it's not gonna be.
Well, that's how it works.
Gonna be something like that, is it?
No.
I didn't think so. Wow. You wouldn't do it.
All right.
Oh, they have.
And where did PowerPoint go? Oh, it's not PowerPoint, it's,
You know, it's the blue thing next to the little graph.
all right, so we
What does it say?
We want to- present.
Normal or below?
So far, the eastern population seems to be doing pretty good. Reports are optimistic. I mean.
Can everybody on the webcast see the presentation? I don't know if we can hear you. Can we hear you?
I see your smiling face.
Okay. Oh, so we're not sharing.
You're not sharing yet.
Okay,
Oh, that.
but
Jonathan,
we're getting there.
Oh, okay.
We're getting there.
Okay.
Where is it? I still. It's heavily eroded.
Hmm?
It's heavily eroded.
No,
Hmm.
no.
Hmm. Why isn't it letting me run things?
You could do the library house.
Something's doing some, I can get this. The yellow barn.
Okay.
They're gonna be.
And then share using Zoom.
That's what I'm working on.
It'd probably be fair. But originally what I was gonna do is I was gonna go to Costco and buy the big bags.
H.
And so you're out there.
All right, share.
When I do.
Which time? Starts at 4 P.M.
4 P.M. Okay.
and probably goes till up.
Just up to share.
The other two.
Okay, we got big butterfly.
Well, you should be happy with the big butterfly.
Oh, here we go. We got spark from the new sun.
Okay, now we are
We're looking at a slideshow.
good to go.
Okay.
What?
Well, thank you for all that.
Yeah. I could do too, because Dale's not there. Minutes.
Yep, got a few minutes.
Yeah. elevated in the back. Coverings, the road by the eyepiece, the way that we modified it. You know, and actually we got it for the same.
It's this word.
Quondam, it means one time. You can say one time.
Okay. Causland Reflector.
Yep.
24-inch.
Yep.
What is it?
Star Master.
We don't know what that is. What?
Yeah, neither do I.
Mid cast or
Oh, no, it's a reflector.
reflector?
Yeah, no, it's bigger than the big dot. Yeah.
There's so much.
Actually, I bought mirrors from Orion, they had one time they had mirrors.
Kalevala?
Kalevala.
Kalevala.
That, stuff. Scopes. The mountains of those.
We even screwed that up because there's a Kalevala Cafe up in Houghton.
Oh, that makes sense. Very Finnish.
No, look at your phone.
All right, 2-minute warning online. Get a drink, get back in your seat. Our presentation starts in 2 minutes. Blair was prepared. Blair was like not muted there.
Oh, we're not muted. We're good.
I don't know. I have a truck that has a pitch, so I need to learn how to. And I'm trying to find people to teach me how to. Not the dog out back either. Right, big joke.
That might not be the first.
No.
Bob.
Eyepiece sets.
Oh.
Sorry. Finder scope, focuser.
Yeah, but my brother was supposed to. He died on me, but.
Inexpensive stuff, just.
Order in the court. Look, if Gary Ross isn't gonna be here, somebody has to be.
I got this. You want to blow this? This will blow yours
Go
out.
for it.
I love this. This is my wife's old. Like it
Everybody,
says
like,
the
just like
Thunderer.
Showcase.
It is ear splitting.
Who was it used to do that?
Ryan Klaus.
Yeah, Brian, yeah.
Wait, you're just gonna tease us with the whistle?
I would prefer he not blow the whistle.
You can come on.
Don't make me do it. I know how to use this. All right. It is 7:45. It is time for our feature presentation. So, Diane Hall, our former president, I guess that means president emeritus of the, what is going on with my phone? Sorry. Stop. All right. Former president of the WART and one-time movie reviewer for the WASP, a lover of space shuttles. I'm very jealous. And historic observatories and a binocular enthusiast. She and her lifelong observing partner, Jonathan Kade, look forward to spending more time with the 24-inch Causland Reflector beneath the dark skies of Alcona County. Diane takes a trip to an impact site in remote Estonia, whose formation may be recounted by the epic
Kalevala.
I'm never going to get that right. Kalevala. Prepare to leave a desire to pack your bags for the Baltics. And with that, Diane Hall.
Hello, everybody. All right. That's what we're covering tonight. So, spark from a new sun in search of Kaali crater. Quick, the heavens are burst asunder. Kalevala rune 47. In the Finnish epic, the Kalevala, Louhi, the mother of disasters, steals the sun and the moon, depriving even the gods of their light. You can see her, there's a tree with the sun on it and a tree with the moon on it, and she is making off with them. Ukko, god of weather and thunder, uses his fire sword to kindle a new spark in hopes it can be nurtured into a replacement for the moon and the sun. But downward drops the wayward fire child, downward quick the red ball rushes, shoots across the arch of heaven, hisses through the startled cloudlets. Something kind of like this happened. The fire child escaped its heavenly nursemaid and fell to earth, wreaking havoc until swallowed by a fish. A hunt for that fish ensues. We don't need the details. Ultimately, the people of the Northland do get their moon and sun back. If you want it, the Kalevala is free online. Suffice it to say, I'm not interested in the fish hunt. But, so that's the epic poem. Now, approximately 4,000 years ago, during the Nordic Bronze Age, a meteor slammed into an inhabited region of what is now Estonia. The impact energy is estimated to have been comparable with the Hiroshima bomb blast. Forests were incinerated for a 6-kilometer radius. The Kalevala, as we know it today, was compiled in the 19th century, but it was passed down in the oral tradition for generations. The oldest parts are thought to be approximately 3,000 years old, while the newer material covering the advent of Christianity dates to the Iron Age. Some of the constituent poems are Western Finnish in origin. It's, the Finnish national epic, but other poems do appear to hail from ancient Estonia. Estonian and Finnish are closely related languages. So, now we journey to discover what the fire that fell from heaven, falling from the cloud's red lining to the deep of earth and ocean. Do these verses from runes 47, 48, and 49 of the Kalevala commemorate a disaster witnessed and survived by the good people of the Northland? It's tantalizing. A direct connection between epic poem and meteor strike, of course, can't be proven, but the impact site most definitely exists. And so my observing companion, Jonathan, and I set out to find it. Last August, we packed our bags and set off for Estonia, northernmost of the Baltic nations. So, a little bit of preparation to visit Estonia, learn some phrases and numbers, get an international driver's license because you're not taking the bus to this crater, leave time to explore the capital of Tallinn, and schedule some sauna time. We'll get to that. Estonia is an EU nation in the Schengen zone. They use the euro as currency, and you can travel freely between other countries in the zone, which we totally did because we also visited Finland. Now, modern Estonia has a population of 1.4 million, making it one of the least populated countries in Europe even today. But what was it like in the time that the Kalevala was composed? So the land that we now call Estonia first became habitable 13,000 to 11,000 years ago, when the glaciers of the last ice age retreated. Kaali, near modern-day Pärnu, was settled around 11,000 years ago in the 9th century BC. It shows evidence of trade with Latvia and or Belarus. So Kaali is the little red dot on the map. It is due east of Kaali crater. Keep this in mind when we talk about the age of the meteor impact. Now, more than 1,100 Mesolithic period artifacts, mostly flint tools and arrowheads, have been found at Kaali. The flint is what was imported from Latvia or Belarus. Other Stone Age Estonian sites use quartz tools. So the fact that these guys had access to higher quality flint is pretty interesting. Neolithic ceramics appear around 5300 BC with early agriculture and sophisticated religious art, and then animal husbandry by 2800 BC. By 2000 BC, an estimated 10,000 people lived in Estonian territory. The first hilltop settlements were established in the Bronze Age, and iron production started around 200 BC. The Estonian coast became a major trade hub during the Viking era. However, very little is known about the religious beliefs of medieval Estonians prior to the advent of Christianity. Estonians are described as worshiping a supreme deity called Tharapita in a chronicle from 1229 AD. And yes, I said 1229 AD. They were still worshiping pagan gods. So this was the supreme deity of the islanders of Saaremaa. Tharapita was also called Uku, which bears a similarity to the god of weather and thunder from the Kalevala, Ukko. Seems pretty suspicious. We do know that they were into sacred groves of trees, especially oak trees. So keep that in the back of your head. Estonia was a holdout against Christianity until the 13th century. A literal crusade was declared against them in 1199. The Teutonic Knights and the Livonian Sword Brothers were all in the action. I bet you did not know that the city of Livonia here in Michigan draws its name from the region of Estonia and a very, very basically extinct language group. I knew you were going to say that.
It's not extinct yet.
It's not extinct yet, but it's getting there. Saaremaa, home of Kaali crater, was the last piece of territory to convert. So the old ways didn't just run deep, they ran long. Back to modern day Estonia. So you start off at the airport in Tallinn. It's named for writer and statesman Lennart Meri, of which more later. It is a lovely little airport, much more so than the Messe of Frankfurt airport, which we passed through to get to Estonia. It bills itself as the world's coziest airport, and as far as I know, it might be. It was a great experience. From there, you have to see Old Tallinn, the capital. Vanalin, as it's called in Estonian, is a UNESCO heritage site known for its well-preserved city walls and medieval buildings. It also has all the restaurants, cafe, nightlife, etc., that you'd expect from a modern Eurozone capital. It is delightful. So we're hanging out with a shadowy monk statue there. There were several of them about. Now, Tallinn has been occupied many times over its history. One of the highlights, the Danish King's Garden, dates to the period of Danish rule. Occupation and independence are key themes to appreciate when you visit Estonia. They've been conquered, they didn't like it, they got free, they got conquered again, they didn't like that, they got conquered again. Now they are free and they are very proud of this. So the Russian embassy, not a popular place. Past relationship with Russia, not good. Present relationship with Russia, not good. Yeah. On a happier note, I totally recommend going out on the water to see Tallinn from the sea. We took a sunset cruise. And it was kind of sort of our 20th wedding anniversary, so we really had an excuse to sample the Vanalin high life. We had a good time. Word of warning, taxis do not like navigating the narrow, winding cobblestone streets of Vanalin. Be prepared to walk. We broke the wheel on our suitcase. Their cobblestones mean business.
It was 20.
I could have stayed all week just in Old Tallinn, having munchies, taking in the sights, having a great time, but the crater field was calling.
That's a work of art.
That cafe was amazing. All right, so you don't need Estonian to get around Tallinn. Island of Saaremaa, very much not Tallinn. Be prepared to use your Estonian, be prepared to drive yourself. Take your time. They're on island time, and so will you be. Jonathan took a crash course using the Linguist app and managed pretty well for the both of us. I recommend learning your numbers to be able to understand prices, in addition to the basic greetings and tourist phrases. I do not recommend Duolingo. They don't have an Estonian course anyway, and honestly, they kind of suck. That said, we encountered the English vernacular in some surprising places. This was an advertisement for eggs in the village of Salme. I swear the identical sign exists in Harrisville, Michigan. So, if getting around Old Tallinn in a taxi is challenging, getting to Saaremaa without a car would be exceptionally difficult. I will not say impossible. To my understanding, it involves 3 different buses and a ferry. So what we did was we went back to the airport, rented a car, and took off for the Western Islands with Jonathan at the wheel. It's an easy drive on a freeway, modern equivalent to our interstate, just smooth, nice, beautiful roads, to the ferry dock on the mainland. From there, you take a spacious car ferry to the small island of Muhu. Muhu has its own charms. We were passing through, but we did take time to check out their museum, which is an open-air preserved village. We learned a lot about traditional village life in Estonia. And the farm that they preserved also happened to be the birthplace and home of notable Estonian writer Juhan Smuul. So they had his stuff all preserved there. So we learned a lot about Estonia's, one of their favorite writers. Off to Saaremaa proper. You just drive westward from Muhu, you take a causeway across the water, and from there it's an easy drive to the local capital, Kuressaare. Here we are at a monument celebrating the border of a linguistic shift between the people of Saaremaa and the rest of Estonia. The people of Saaremaa pronounce the vowel O differently, to the point that it's allegedly hard for them to understand the mainlanders. Now, Kuressaare, cute little place. It's the place the island have a chic modern meal and a bistro. Obligatory food picture. There was a restaurant inside of a windmill. It was closed that night. We couldn't get in. Saaremaa is notable for its windmills, which look pretty much like the ones in the Netherlands. While you're in Kuressaare, I recommend going to the museum inside the local castle for a walk through Estonian history. The exhibits on the Soviet era and the Estonian resistance were especially illuminating. A lot of dark humor, real dark humor. Estonia and the other Baltic nations, Latvia and Lithuania, were of course instrumental in bringing down the Soviet Union. There's also exhibits that are more the sort of thing you expect from a castle. They've got a dungeon, they've got old knight stuff, they've got old furniture. Yeah, so it's kind of a mishmash, but it was a cool museum.
Everything is in, except for the older exhibits, which are still in Russian. They give you English to translate, and they're replacing the Russian with English.
Yeah, architecture was pretty neat. I mentioned saunas. You want to build sauna time into your schedule. Finns are proud of sauna culture. Uppers are proud of sauna culture. Estonians, as a sister people to the Finns and the Uppers, are also proud of sauna culture. We got to enjoy a particularly magic one at a beach hotel just west of Kuressaare. Overall, Saaremaa looks shockingly like northern Michigan. Part of it is a geological similarity, flat limestone scraped during the Ice Age, covered in glacial till. Part of it is that so many plants from northern Eurasia have invaded Michigan that the flora and the landscape look absolutely similar. I swear the purple plant on the right is the same spotted knapweed that is a nuisance in our observing field up north. Being so sparsely populated by humans means Estonia is a great place for wildlife. We saw dozens of species of birds, many kinds of insects and spiders. Lynx live on the islands. We didn't see any. I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to see a big kitty, but They're there. Finally, we get to Kaali itself. Kaali is located 18 kilometers or 11 miles from Kuressaare. I don't have a head count on the population, but it's a small village with one school. Crater tourism forms a key part of its economy. Here's a close-up of the map featuring the crater site. And this is the Combination Museum Hotel where we stayed. It opened in 2005.
Can you pronounce that?
He learned Estonian, not me.
Do that 10 minutes.
There's a souvenir stand attached to it on the far left of this image. We had to talk to the woman running the stand to get into the place. My contact, with whom I'd been emailing, was not on site that day. Again, island time. Jonathan's Estonian lessons came in real handy.
We didn't really need Estonia anywhere else except right here. They speak English in all bigger cities.
Accommodations are simple but clean. And in the morning, we were treated to a hearty spread of Estonian fare, from porridge to meats. Traditional Estonian cuisine reflects the mix of Nordic and Slavic influences. We liked it. John was raised by Ukrainian grandma. We dug it. Now, I wanted to eat and drink at the Singular Tavern in town, but again, it wasn't open during the time we were there. Island time strikes again. The tavern has a cool logo. You can see it there on the milk can to the left. The other sites advertised are the Anglo windmills and the Punga Cliffs. These are considered must-sees for visitors to Saaremaa. We did not see them, which means we are obliged to go back. Now, the museum is free if you stay at the hotel. It's not expensive if you don't stay at the hotel, but it's free if you stay.
It's $1, it's €1.25, I think.
Yeah, it was like €2. It was a nominal fee. It is small. It is packed with information. Here's some pictures I took of their astronomy exhibitions. It takes great pains to cover the underlying geology of Saaremaa and the overall region. They had really cool fossils. You can tell the curators love the geology of Saaremaa even more than they do love astronomy. If you needed to know anything about the geology of Saaremaa, it was there in that museum. Honestly, even the form of the museum itself was a celebration of local geology. As fossil lovers, we enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a deep dive into paleontology as well as astronomy, so I guess we got double our money's worth. Not that we paid. Everything is labeled in Estonian, English, and/or German. If you've managed to get this far in your travels in Estonia, you are fine from here on out. Cool display case. Now, I enjoyed seeing artifacts from other craters, like this piece of the Nordlingen Ries impact structure in Germany. That is the crater that has a city inside of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, for my previous talk. Yep. Turns out there's a lot of extant meteor craters in Estonia. So this map shows all extant craters. None of them are as well preserved as the Kaali structure, but I figured they are worth a bit of our time. One is called Neugrund. It is under the sea. The museum had a sample of breccia, which is basically crater stuff produced by an impact. The crater is 8 kilometers across. That impact was 535 million years ago. The size of the meteor is estimated at 400 meters across. Kardla crater on the north coast of the neighboring island of Hiiumaa is also extremely old. 455 million years ago, blasted out by a meteorite containing iron. Hiiumaa is one of the places I want to visit. It is the place where you see the lynx. It is a very forested, very unpopulated island. Now, Simuna crater in eastern Estonia may have been formed by a bolide that was witnessed on June 1st of 1937. And another smaller crater in eastern Estonia is estimated at about 9,500 years old. So Estonia has been hammered even in the brief time that it emerged from the glacial ice. You could do an entire trip from one end of Estonia to the other, themed around visiting these impact craters. I'll let y'all know if we do. But we were here for the big one. Primary crater at Kaali, short walk from the hotel, multiple access points to the crater rim trail. Walk is not challenging at all. The rim rise is 6 to 7 meters above the surrounding landscape. Local signage on the trail completely in English. Detailed geological information abounds. I've included these pictures of the stairway to the crater floor to give an impression of how accessible it is. Crater bed, not accessible for people with mobility issues. Out of shape American tourists like me, managed well enough. And once you get to the bottom, you are free to wander. No fence, no guardrail, no nothing. Crater has a diameter of about 110 meters and a depth of 30 meters.
You have a person in that picture or?
We will. We've got plenty of pictures for scale coming up. The lake ranges seasonally from 30 to 60 meters in diameter. Lake does not look its best in late August. I've seen pictures from the Estonian Tourist Bureau of it in what I presume is like January or February. It looks absolutely magical. It's filled with rain and meltwater. It's much more full at other times of year. So keep that in mind if you plan to go. But late August in Saaremaa was very beautiful for its own sake. There were rare wildflowers in the beaches. We went swimming in the Baltic Sea. So, you know, there's trade-offs. Out of season or not, it's an impressive sight. If you've been to any of the limestone sinkholes in northern Michigan, you can see how this lake was initially mistaken for such a sinkhole. This photo is in fact from Kaali, but I could have swapped in one of Rockport without much difference. Humans for scale.
They had great scale, it could be a lot bigger.
You can tell it's a big hole in the ground though. Now, there are other craters in the crater field. There's a helpful map to the secondary craters labeled 1 through 8, just outside the museum hotel. They are all within 1 kilometer of the main crater. So if you're up for a 1 kilometer walk and back, you can hit them all. We parceled them out over the course of an evening and then the following morning. So here is the map. That is the confines of the geopark within the orange border, and then the craters are picked out with the little red spots.
The Kaali, meteor broke into those.
Yeah, it exploded before it impacted. So the largest piece obviously made a really big crater, but smaller pieces made the rest of the craters. And there's probably more that have vanished from sight over all the years of human occupation. So the whole area is a protected site. Theoretically, you can access all the craters, no problem. In practice, we will get to that. For this one, crater number 7, we just climbed over a fence into a sheep pasture and had ourselves a look around. Easy peasy. Now, I'll go through them in order. Crater number 1, 300 meters northwest from the main crater. It is the largest aside from the main crater. It is a brush-filled depression 4 meters in depth, 39 meters in diameter. We accessed it by walking through another farmer's field. Many of the secondary craters are marked by these groves of trees. Remember how oak groves were sacred to the ancient Estonian people? Kind of interesting how these places where fire fell from the sky just have the groves of trees marking them off, you know? Food for thought. Craters number 2 and 8 are twin craters. They are located 600 meters south from the main crater on a flat hillock. The depression is said to be clean and easy to spot. We were not able to access this site because that sign says beware of dog,
We're a bad dog.
bad dog.
And above it says, stop, turn around. And then below it says, beware of bad dog.
Yeah, so we took that sign seriously and we got out of there. Crater number 3, 250 meters east of 2.8. It's considered the best preserved of the dry depressions. Depth of 3.5 meters, so that's pretty respectable. We could not get there either. So we struck out on 2, 8, and 3. Number 4, on the other hand, is helpfully marked by a road sign. It's the easiest to access of the smaller impact sites, just on the north side of the road, right by the hotel, 300 meters east of the main crater. No problem. There's even steps going right down into it. Now, crater number 4 was heavily excavated, so its current size is actually misleading. Many key geological and archaeological discoveries of the Kaali field hail from this particular crater. Here's some of its ejecta as found in the museum. Here's another picture of 4 for emphasis. Here's me at the top of the stairs. Excavated or not, hit this one. You can't miss it. It's right there. Just check it out. Now, crater number 5 is not far from 4. It's 170 meters away. Its original diameter was 13 meters and its depth is 0.9, so pretty small. It would have been an easy walk, but the sheep were out and about and we didn't want issue with the farmers. So that grove of trees is crater 5. The fence was no big deal. We just didn't want angry rams. We didn't want angry farmers. We're just like,
We didn't want to find any dogs.
yeah, that too. Now, 5 yielded the largest number of meteorite pieces excavated at the site, including the largest one found, which after cleaning weighs in at 28.4 grams. Crater number 6, 450 meters northwest from the main crater. It is a barely discernible depression right by the side of the road, totally overgrown. Depth is only 0.6 meters. We went there. Out of the craters we visited, it was the least exciting, yeah. But we,
When in the winter when it's over.
yeah,
You can still call it slow place.
yeah. It was definitely a something. Crater 7, pretty cool. It's the one opposite the Kaali store. That this is a meteorite crater was only discovered in 1965, which seems very weird to me because it's right there in the literal center of town. It's 15 meters in diameter. It's 1 meter in depth. Easiest to access besides number 4. Yeah, that was the first one we hit, so V for victory. And supposedly there is a crater 9. Crater 9 is allegedly 100 meters northwest from 6. 6 is at the far left-turn perimeter of the geopark zone. 9 is allegedly 12 meters across with a depth of 1 meter. So, you know, in keeping with the smaller craters in the rest of the field. Local maps didn't show it. I found a reference to it on a geocaching site. So
Wow.
if you go, check out the geocaching information because they've got the dirt on crater 9. Don't know.
Or just outside, you might not technically be allowed.
Yeah, you might not be allowed to visit it.
Because you can trespass on the farm fields here.
Yeah,
Like,
anything
it's
in
not
the,
trespassing.
it's,
Other than 2 and 8, apparently.
yeah, it's not trespassing if you're inside the red lines. 9 is outside the red lines. So there may be undiscovered meteorite craters long since filled in by rocks and soil buried beneath the landscape of farms. What remains is impressive given the millennia of human activity at the site. So let's get into the science a little bit. The meteor that caused the Kaali crater field, which this Estonian graph calls it Tharapita after the supreme god, came in from east-northeast at an angle of about 35 degrees. At the moment of impact, it weighed an estimated 1,000 tons, metric tons, and was going 200 kilometers a second. The impact blasted through the clayey glacial till and shattered the underlying dolomitic limestone. The craters then filled with a jumble of limestone fragments, disrupted glacial till, and soil. So how old is it really? I said earlier, 4,000 years. That's an estimate. Dating the crater has proven difficult because different methods of dating it have produced a range of dates. Most recent estimate, or rather the lower estimate, is 4th century BCE. I don't believe that for reasons we'll get into on the next slide. But that is based on elevated levels of iridium in a bog. Of course, iridium is the telltale signature that with the KPG border. So the iridium is interesting. Silicate spherules in other Estonian bogs appear to date back 7,600 years old, which to me seems a little bit old. Fossils inside the crater, these little mollusk fossils found in crater 4, say 3,000 to 4,000 years old. I'm pretty comfortable with that. But the Morrigan arrowhead intrigues me. It sets a lower limit for the impact at 800 BC, the age of the settlement in Lake Biel, Switzerland, where it was discovered. So it can't be 400 years old. It can't be from 400 BC because the artifact dates back to 800 BC. So that's why I'm comfortable ruling out 400 BC. I still think it's significantly older.
What is the arrowhead?
The arrowhead was discovered in 1873, but its extraterrestrial origins were not confirmed until 2023. The meteor from Kaali is its most likely candidate for origin. It is the sole artifact that has been discovered to date of Kaali iron. As you might guess from the existence of an arrowhead, the Kaali meteorites are all metallic. In astronomical terms, it's coarse octahedrite, 91.5% iron, 8.3% nickel. All recovered fragments, save that arrowhead, we don't know where that originated, came from the smaller craters. The museum showcases a nice big chunk of a similar coarse octahedrite from Russia. Fragments of this famous fall may be in your own collection. I'm pretty sure we've got a chunk of it. Most fragments of Kaali's meteor weigh from 0.5 to 2 grams. As I said, the largest clocks in at only 28.4 grams. And the soil from the site has yielded micrometeorites, microfragments, little globules of things. So there's a lot to discover in the soil, but it's not very eye-catching. Now, before the 1920s, people had several different hypotheses about this crater field. They had a lake. It was round. It had been occupied for a long time, which we'll get into. Obviously, something happened here, but what? Well, one of the hypotheses was it's a volcanic caldera. Another one, which makes a lot of sense if you're familiar with limestone features, is that it's simply a sinkhole caused by what they call karst processes, dissolving the limestone and forming a perfect circular lake, like this one in Michigan. So the meteoritic origin was first suggested in 1922 by a guy who specialized in geoscience. His name was Julius Calhoun or Julius Kaluvi. He seems to have changed his name at some point. He is also the person who first proposed an impact explanation for the Nordlingen Ries crater structure in Bavaria, where people live. And he was perfectly correct there as well. So Kaluvi didn't actually do the digging. This man, Ivan Reinwald, did the work. So he emigrated to Estonia in 1921. commenced work at the Kaali craters in 1927. He was a mining engineer by trade, but he methodically excavated over a decade and finally found in crater 2 the first pieces of meteor in 1937. He was a superb investigator, and he was also canny enough to successfully spread news of his findings outside the borders of Estonia. He got play in the mainstream Anglophone science circles of the era, which is pretty impressive. All in all, he collected 30 fragments from the smaller craters, notably number 4 and number 5. The main crater, it did yield critical geological evidence like these shatter cones, which are a telltale geological structured impact site, but no big meteor, no giant chunk of iron. Now, long before the science got there, the ancient Estonians were making use of that circular lake in the woods. Surrounding the crater are the remains of an immense stone wall, 470 meters long, 2.5 meters thick, and approximately 2 meters high. That dates to the early Iron Age, so 600 BC to 100 AD. There's evidence of a fortified hilltop settlement from 5th to 7th century BC, and a small hoard of silver jewelry that dates to the 3rd through the 5th centuries AD. And an extraordinary number of domestic animal bones have been found inside the walled area, the latest dating to the 16th century, suggesting that the lake was used not just as a watering hole, but as a place for ritual sacrifice. The Estonians made animal offerings to ensure a good harvest and kept on making them in secret long after the church said, "You knock that off." This is hardly surprising given the late and very forceful conversion of the people of Saaremaa. They kept their bonfires too. Now, if you want to get into the mythos of Kaali, this guy is your man. Leonard Mary, the guy for whom Tallinn's airport is named. He wrote a book in 1976 called Silver White, The Journey to the Fallen Sun. And this is where he put forth the theory that the Kaali impact is what is described in runes 47 through 49 of the Kalevala. He also suggests that the Baltic midsummer bonfire traditions that are a reenactment of the event. This is very tantalizing. He also had some stuff that's a little bit more goofy, proposed that Estonia was the mythical land of Ultima Thule. And he had a whole idea about Estonian history that modern geneticists say, no, that's not how it works. This man later served as Estonia's president. So he is a titanic figure in Estonian culture. A 2005 article in the Baltic Times notes, other more far-fetched theories have cropped up connecting just about every European national epic to the event, the Kaali impact. Speculation even goes so far as to suggest that the golden fleece of the Argonauts was in Lake Kaali. So the idea there is Estonia used to be a lot lower. So at that point, it would have been navigable, and Jason and his merry men in their ships could have sailed into the, okay. Scientific research is never going to get there. So just forget I said anything. So why does this matter? Okay, soapbox time. The modern study of the intersection of oral histories with geology and archaeology is a fascinating, illuminating field that is finally being taken seriously by modern day researchers, modern day Western white people researchers who have undervalued traditional and especially indigenous testimony. So you've got the Inuit passing down accurate information on tales of lost polar expeditions like the Erebus and Terror seen up there. You've got the peoples of the Pacific Northwest passing down accounts of an earthquake and tsunami that can be pinpointed to 700 AD. And you've got the indigenous people of Australia recounting a meteor strike down under 4,500 years after the event. Of course, it gets poetic, it gets transformed, but there's truth there. And modern science is catching up with the fact that there's something to these oral histories after all. Oral history is all you have if your life and culture depends on it, as it did for the Inuit, as it does for the people of Australia. You tell it right and you tell it accurate and you tell it from generation to generation without a change. Because that tells you, do not go in that lake. That is the lake of fire and people die there. So we now understand that oral history can have striking accuracy for centuries, if not millennia. So the idea that ancient Finnish and Estonian poetry encodes the meteor blast that formed Kaali crater isn't just a bit of fancy. I think it taps into something profound about humans and the way we interact with the world. Astonishing things happen. Fire falls from the sky. We give them meaning. We wrap them in ritual. We pass them down through generations. I mean, look, we're astronomers. What's the most basic thing that we do? We draw pictures in the stars and give them the names of gods. So that's what we do. We're humans. We draw pictures in the stars and we tell the story of the fire that fell through the sky. And some days, that's good enough. It's a pretty neat thing. In short, I believe in the wayward fire child. Any questions?
Looks like there was a lot of research done, you know, to put that museum together.
Oh yeah, no, it was very well researched museum. Yeah, it's their pride and joy, clearly.
It seems like one of the things they learned under Soviet occupation is they didn't like Soviet occupation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the main.
that's the main thing they learned. Yeah.
These areas now, they're Soviet rule, none of them were,
No.
including Ukraine, no, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, just over.
How did this particular crater catch your interest?
So I did a talk, what was it, about 18 months ago about inhabited craters. And that had its genesis in a visit to Chesapeake Bay with our nieces. John's sister lives in Chesapeake Bay with our two nieces, and we went to a museum there. And it had completely slipped my mind that all of Chesapeake Bay is a giant impact crater that people are just living and working and developing and everything like that. And I said, oh, well, let's do instead of focusing on these pristine craters in Winslow, Arizona, or in the Great North Woods or anything like that, these perfect craters, let's talk about these degraded, inhabited craters that are just people live in and go about their business and don't even think about, hey, we're living in a crater. And through that, I discovered Kaali and the possibility that the fall had been witnessed by humans, which there's only 3 craters, one in Venezuela, I believe, the one Henbury crater in Australia, and this, that the strike may have been witnessed by people that we're aware of. There may be some peoples out there telling stories that haven't yet been documented by science. And then we had business in Finland. Jonathan had some artifacts on display in a museum in Finland. So we were going to take a trip to Finland. Finland's right across the strait from Estonia. You just take a ferry to get there. So long story short, we went to Estonia and then we went to Finland and we had a great time. Yeah, we saw a crater. Yes, Bob.
Do they get snow there?
Yes.
How much roughly?
I don't know what the snowfall is. I've just seen some beautiful photos from the Estonian Tourist Bureau.
It's similar to what we get in Michigan. It's not.
I would say northern Michigan, yeah.
The reason I ask is, you would think that, over those thousands of years, that, the snow, et cetera, and the natural you know, weathering of the soil might have hid some of those smaller ones or buried them.
Oh, yeah.
So were those, we go re-excavated, from a standpoint of trying to find out what they look like, getting down to the original material, or are they untouched?
No, very few of them are untouched because again, Ivan Reinwald spent 10 years poking around trying to find meteorites. So
Oh.
4 is the most heavily excavated. Its dimensions are very misleading to what it originally was. 7, I believe 7, 3, and 2 are pretty close to the way they were when they were found. 5, which we didn't get the chance to go crawling around in, was also heavily excavated. And then you've got like crater number 6, which is just extremely weathered and very overgrown.
But then it will last to be there and see them freshly blown out.
Yeah,
You know, those people, would have seen them in pristine condition.
well, you also can't discount the possibility that these craters were taken care of. And I bring this up because there is one of my interests outside of astronomy is like the chalk art in the British Isles. There's a chalk structure called the Uffington Horse. It is 3,000 years old. People have been maintaining that, passing down the people of this village. This is what we do: is we go out there and we freshen up the horse for 3,000 years. So the idea that there may have been in pre-modern times, which pre-modern in Estonia is pretty recent.
Given how many Estonians died during Soviet occupation.
Yeah, that there may have been caretakers of the lake and these craters is not a bat's idea.
Yeah.
Especially if they built walls around it and had a village and, you know,
Yeah.
those walls, I think that's significant.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Something like 60% of the men under 50 on Sarma were killed in World War II by one side or the other.
Yeah, Saaremaa was just a killing field.
There's probably a lot of historical knowledge lost there.
We did not include the pictures that we took of the various war memorials. But it's a beautiful place, but it's also a pretty sobering place. Any other?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think that, you know, the area that you were in, you know, there was a lot of impact craters there. Were there other areas that had as many impact craters, or was it just concentrated in this one area?
I haven't yet expanded my search of crater type stuff to see if like Latvia and Lithuania have similar geology, because of course they would have emerged from the glaciation a little bit earlier than Estonia, but not much earlier. And they would also present a fairly new, fresh canvas on which these meteor strikes could happen. Because that's one thing to keep in mind is this land is not ancient by geological time. This land is brand new. And compared with many of the craters that we're more familiar with, 4,000 odd years is nothing.
Like 12,000 years ago, there were people here, right? Like 12,000 years ago, it was just starting to become habitable. There was nobody there.
Yeah.
Are there more or less asteroids falling to the earth than 10,000 years ago?
I'd defer to Bob on that.
Asteroids are hitting the Earth every day.
But is it more or less than, say, 10,000 years?
Who knows? There's a video created by the B612 Foundation. They've done all the asteroid impacts from 2000 until 2025, and that they used DoD orbiting satellites to track and stuff like that, and they are just hitting everywhere all the time, mostly in the ocean, but
I think it's assumed to ask that, just assume.
it is.
Yeah.
Now, big ones like this, they're on a century, maybe couple century time frame.
I mean, again, there are only three in the times that recorded human history. There are three impacts that we can date back to craters. So impacts of this size, not common at all.
I mean, if anybody had been in Siberia, so they could have seen Tunguska, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's not a crater per se.
Oh, people saw Tunguska.
Well,
There's,
the explosion.
there's records of it looking just like Chelyabinsk.
Yeah.
And people getting blown off their feet 100 miles away.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Any other questions?
No, that was very.
All right.
Well, thank you very much, all.
Thank you, Diane. Just a
Yep.
second here.
Yield to
All
Bob.
right, so the meeting is over. Astronomy at the beach next weekend. Our next star party at Stargate Observatory is on Saturday, September 27th, the same day as day 2 of astronomy at the beach. Our next WAS meeting is at Cranbrook on November 6th. That is election day, or no, that's not November 6th, it's October 6th. We are having pizza. Yay! Our next board meeting is in 2 weeks via Zoom. And we meet after this meeting at the National Coney Island on Van Dyke, north of 12 Mile for gastronomy after astronomy. So see us there. And for everyone else, clear skies and safe travels. Good night, everyone. All right, so
Good night.
get out of here. Woo-hoo. Lights.
The green arrows on the screen.
Somebody was drawing on the screen. Diane, were you drawing on?
I was not drawing on the screen.
Somebody named Mike was drawing on the screen. Somebody named Mike, was it?